Following an unfavorable beginning to the season with its new W14 Challenger, the Mercedes F1 team has been hard at work on several upgrades to the vehicle at its Brackley plant. Mercedes has been eager to create a more consistent and solid platform for its drivers, in addition to pursuing overall downforce benefits with the latest advancements. That's why, in addition to the apparent cosmetic alterations to the sidepods, the front suspension and floor have been modified. Today, we're going to talk about the exciting upgrade packages that Mercedes brought to the Monaco Grand Prix and how they will impact the team's performance in the upcoming races. We all know Mercedes has been a dominant force in recent years, but even the best stumble sometimes. Before we explore the details of the upgrades, let's understand why Mercedes was struggling with their car in the first place. Over the past 2 seasons, Mercedes built 2 different cars, one with a strong rear end and another with a strong front end. Unfortunately, the current version of the car lacks rear downforce and is too pointy. The increased drag was a significant issue due to the impaired airflow caused by the car running a bit too high. This resulted in a loss of valuable rear downforce, which affected the car's stability and overall performance. This imbalance has made it challenging for Mercedes to keep up with the RB19. The team realized they needed to change their approach to address this issue. The upgrades Mercedes introduced were no joke. They focused on 2 crucial areas, the front suspension and the sideboard design. These modifications were intended to optimize airflow, increase stability, and boost overall performance. The front suspension upgrade was a smart move by Mercedes. They chose a setup that prioritized aerodynamics over mechanical reasons. This decision aimed to create a smoother flow of air from the front wing to the rear of the car, which is crucial for extracting maximum performance. Imagine it as a bridge, carrying air to where it needs to be for the car to excel. The front leg top wishbone inboard pickup has been lifted. This modification optimizes the location of the wishbone wake, which increases onset flow into the sidepod and consequently improves the effectiveness of cooling. There has been a change in local load in fence camber, resulting in higher local load and enhanced flow to the diffuser. This should result in increased rear downforce. A broad and high sidepod intake improves flow to the floor edge, resulting in higher floor load and better flow to the rear corner. Mercedes also went all out with their sideboard design. Taking inspiration from the approaches of Red Bull and Ferrari, they implemented a concoction that's a mix of both. One notable addition was the CIS tube wing, which helps manage the front wheel wake more effectively. They even went the extra mile and integrated a vertical cascaded winglet onto the system wing. Fancy, right? The wider bodywork boosts local downforce while also improving flow to the rear wing assembly and rear corner. The increased camber of the rear wing flap increases rear wing load, which reduces pressure behind the car and hence increases rear floor load. Local winglet load is augmented by a second cascade of cake tin winglets attached to the extra winglet array. This reduces pressure behind the lower suspension legs, increasing the strain on them as well. The front suspension upgrade and the innovative sideboard design have significant implications for the W14's performance. The optimized airflow to the rear improves stability during braking and cornering, ensuring the car can maintain a lower ride height, allowing for higher downforce. The CIS tube wing and vertical cascaded winglet enhance front wheel wake management and generate vortices, which in turn aid in directing air to critical areas like the rear tire through the undercut. Mercedes F1 team didn't have great hopes for the Monaco Grand Prix. Hamilton, on the other hand, got off to a terrific start and delivered remarkable performances in the first practice. The Briton exchanged top times early in FP1 to finish 3rd. However, the joy was only temporary as he was followed by an accident in FP3, which resulted in a P6 in qualifying. So, despite feeling improvements in the vehicle, Hamilton admitted that it still lacks performance and that he cannot trust it yet. Hamilton finished 4th in Monaco, despite beginning from 5th on the grid. He also fell just over 2 seconds short of his 2nd podium of the season, finishing 3rd behind Esteban Ocon. Mercedes has taken a step forward in this regard, but it is insufficient because the Mercedes driver benefited from a Ferrari strategy choice to bring Carlos Sainz into the pits to dump his hard tyres on lap 33, the first of the hard tyre starters to do so. Mercedes gained track position as a result, with Hamilton regaining the lead over George Russell after the young British driver made a mistake at Mirabel. Hamilton said, "I'm really happy. We moved forwards and coming into the weekend, I didn't know where we would stand. So to come out 4th and 5th, it was really great points for the team. It's a huge thank you to everyone back at the factory for pushing and bringing those upgrades. There's so much work to bring those here and we kept in one piece and we brought it home. We beat the Ferraris. We really got some good points today as a team." He feels, however, that the Circuit de Catalunya will help him better grasp the new components and said, "The car feels very stiff. There's a lot of bumps. It's tricky." During the Monaco Grand Prix, Mercedes showcased the initial impact of these upgrades. Despite the track limitations not fully allowing the car's potential to shine, Mercedes strategically utilised the upgrades to secure a solid P4 and P5 finish after a challenging qualifying session. This performance hinted at the potential of the upgraded W14. Now let's be real here, Monaco wasn't exactly the best playground for Mercedes to show off their improvements. The twisty, narrow streets restricted their ability to fully unleash the car's potential. It's like wearing a fancy suit to a backyard barbecue. It's nice, but you can't really strut your stuff. The true test for the upgraded Mercedes beast will come at the Barcelona GP. That's when we'll see if all these tweaks and adjustments were worth the hype. Have Mercedes upgrades truly worked? Well, it's a mixed bag at this point. The initial results show promise, but we need to see more races and gather more data before drawing a definitive conclusion. The upgrades have undoubtedly addressed some of the team's issues, with improved stability and optimized airflow. However, whether they can truly close the gap and dethrone the dominant teams like Red Bull remains to be seen. So, there you have it, the rocky roads Mercedes has been driving on in the 2023 F1 season. Drag, suspension puzzles, and attempts to mimic the success of their rivals. It hasn't been smooth sailing. But hey, every team faces challenges, and it's how they bounce back that counts. In conclusion, the Mercedes Formula 1 team has made significant upgrades to their W14 car for the 2023 season. While the team still faces challenges, the modifications have shown encouraging developments, and the drivers have expressed optimism about the car's performance. The Monaco Grand Prix served as a platform for Mercedes to assess the improvements and gather valuable data for future races. As the team heads to Barcelona, they look forward to further refining their understanding of the car and pushing for better results. In the thrilling world of Formula 1, upgrades are a constant pursuit to gain a competitive edge. Mercedes has certainly made a bold move with their upgrades for the 2023 season. As fans, we eagerly await the results and hope that Mercedes upgrades pay off, delivering some exhilarating battles on the track. Buckle up, folks, because the racing action is about to get intense.